morning. Today we are going to be working in a circle art journal. I got this idea from Mike Deakin art and I made this about a year or two ago. It was actually hurricane season in Florida and the power was out. There wasn't much else to do, so I used a bowl and just cut some circles. I think it's about 8 inches out of some watercolor paper, and every now and then I use it as kind of like my quote book. So this one I had, when you feel like quitting, think about why you started, and I like it kind of like a inspirational flip through journal. So this was the first page I had done in it, and then these are some pages I have already prepped. It's a place where I like to use jelly prints that are my favorite. I just cut them out and put them in here. When I have extra texture paste, I put it through. So these are just some sample pages. So today I'm going to do a brand new page for a new stamp that I just got by Darkroom Doors, a quote stamp, and it says, "I am creative, you can't expect me to be neat too." And I just love that when I saw it and picked it up. So I felt it needed to go into my circle art journal. So to start, I have a jelly plate print that I made with some of the Dina Wakley Scribble sticks, and I believe this is the new cheddar, eggplant, and there was a blue I used too. I don't remember exactly. So the first step is simple. I'm just going to go ahead and use some of my Liquitex matte gel medium that I get from dickblick.com, and I'm going to go ahead and gel this down. Just so I don't get it all over the table. And I love these circle journals because it's kind of a way to think outside the box. I loved it when I saw Mike Deakin's video tutorial, and I know he found it from another YouTube artist. And it's just a great way, if you're tired of your square journals, to kind of just think outside the box. I actually have it in 2 sizes. I have a mini one too that I haven't started yet for if I travel. And this one I think is only 6 inches. And these rings I get at the dollar store. You can get, I think, 9 or 10 in a pack. So I've got that down. I'm trying to make sure I have the right side. Make sure I get as much as I can. We're just going to go for it. There we go. And now I just need I just had it. I have a old gift card for helping to scrape it down, make sure it's sticking, try to get rid of all the bubbles. There we go. I want to make sure it's sticking good around the edges. That feels like it's sticking pretty good. A little extra. There we go. Now I'm just going to go ahead and hit that with the heat gun real quick to dry it. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this background. I don't want this to curl on me too much, so I'm going to flip it over. There we go. Just going to go ahead and trim off the edge extra. we go. All set. Can just tear off the little extra bits. And now we have our nice purple and orange textured background. So to add a little more color to this, I'm going to go ahead and take out my Distress Oxide in Wilted Violet, and I'm going to do the edges and bring in some purple. And I need that protective sheet down again. Just so you guys can see what I'm doing a little better. There we go. Let's get that nice purple edging. Fill in a little bit of that white that was left over. There we go. I'm kind of thinking I want to maybe add a little bit of some sort of texture to the background. So let me just check my stamps and I'll be right back. So I'm thinking, since my quote is going to sit in the middle, I kind of want a fun border or just some black texture in the background. And I have some of these mini Finnabair clear stamps. So I'm thinking I'm just going to take this one. I was contemplating using some whimsical ones too, but I don't think that's going to work today. So I'm going to take this guy. And get him inked up. And just add a little texture to the background. Just a little something. And one thing to try and keep in mind, as I've done that on some of these, is I try to keep track of where my holes are, so I know when I end up putting my stamp down that I'm not putting it like upside down or backwards or some other weird angle. Okay. So that was just my black archival ink with the mini Finnabair stamp. And I think that looks good. So I've decided I want to do my stamp in purple copy. So I have a scrap piece of watercolor paper that I'm going to use to stamp on. And I have a purple archival ink in Majestic Violet. And I've tried just stamping right on the paper before. And when I did that, what happened was the texture of the paper and the texture of the jelly print, I just didn't get a good solid print. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and put it on the white paper first and edge that. And then I'll go ahead and I'll add it on. Just grabbing a baby wipe to get a little of that extra purple off the edge there because we don't want that to show up. And now just go ahead and stamp it. Alright, there we have it. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. Make sure I cover up my inks. And you can always use like edging scissors that have different textures and stuff to cut it out. I just kind of like mine square. And then I have a edge distresser from Tim Holtz's line that I just kind of rough up the edges a little bit. Give it a little bit of an aged look. So I'll do that. And I think since we have the black in the paper, I might add a little bit of black to this as well. So I'm just going to get out my archival ink again. And I'm just going to do a little bit of edging. I don't want it to be too dark, but just enough to pick up that distressing I did and give it a little bit of depth. There we go. See? Okay. So now we have our piece, and I know that the holes are there. I'm going to get that back out. And these are sticky thumb adhesive foam dots that I get on Amazon, and I'm just going to stick a couple of those on the back. I'm going to center that. And I almost feel like with the purple splatters, it needs some splatters on the page. And I'm thinking it may need some white splatters to go with this. So let me just get my white paint out real quick. Put a little bit of the paint in here. Spritz it down. And I do want to protect this a little bit. So I may just, there we go. Just to help protect that a little. All right. Had to find the right brush. Go. All right. Just get some more paint on there. And I'm sure I'm going to be as covered as the piece is with splatter when this is done. Want it nice and wet, some big droplets. I guess that kind of goes along with the quote, being creative, you can't expect me to be neat too. There we go. And as you can see, I am also covered now. So that's the signs of a fun journal page. Take this off. And there you have it, a simple quote-inspired circle art journal page. Quick to do, easy to do, a great way to use some of your favorite jelly plates. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, remember to give it a thumbs up, and if you hit that subscribe button, you'll stay up to date on all my latest videos. Thanks for stopping by.